The following content contains personal experiences of our hosts and guests. We are not experts in this matter. We encourage challenging conversations with others and to achieve healing from our childhood. We hope to connect and allow a safe space to have an open discussion. It is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a qualified professional, diagnosis, or treatment.
But yeah, if you need decorations, my dad has like some 48 Buddha statues of just random.
48?
It's probably more than that, just
my-
of the ones I found. I've
4,
got like
8 or 428.
like 48, like
Oh.
4 and then 8. Yeah.
Well, I think your mom has a few from your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's in our the living room.
Actually, I mean, I have like a little Buddha outside my porch, like a small one.
okay.
I mean, I could have a bigger one,
I've
but
got,
do I
like-
really need it? I don't know.
I've got like a wooden Buddha. I've got porcelain. I've got probably other materials, plastic. There's like skinny Buddha.
I was going to say,
I've got
which
fat
different
Buddha.
styles.
I've
which
got the
Buddha form are we talking
Oh,
about?
Buddha
yeah.
with like the big ears, with the small ears. He's either laughing or praying.
It's a whole variety.
I got
Yeah.
all of them.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Korean
shopping
Buddha?
at your dad's place.
Chinese, probably the Nepal one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. If we need anything,
Buddha.
shop at
If you
Kevin's
need
dad's
if you need
place.
Call Kevin.
a rice, was it an air fryer?
I was considering buying one because I've been seeing all these recipes like air fry this, air
Oh,
fry
it's a
game
that.
changer.
So possibly.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of First Generation Podcast. We are back at the Spotify studios again here in LA. And we have a lovely, lovely guest today joining us. One of my long-term childhood friends, Kevin. Welcome.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being on
I'm
here.
excited to have you. Awesome, Kevin. Well, thanks for joining us. Tiff and I obviously know you, but just for our audience, just give us a little background of your parents' origin and where they came from.
Yeah. So my parents immigrated here from Philippines. Mom met dad in the Broadway in downtown LA.
Oh,
Right.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
yeah.
So they met, or no, I think they met at my auntie's like jewelry store, but it was downtown.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
definitely met
okay.
like organically. I'm what's known as an anchor baby, right? I get to help my dad stay here. Let's see. Yeah, we moved from like the LA area to like Burbank in like the, early 90s. I got to go to grade school with Tiffany. So our parents also like knew each other, which was cool. Like I believe they like helped each other a lot, like coming up,
Mhm.
especially by like high school. Like you were picking me up,
Yeah.
to go to
You were
to go to high school.
carpooling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been pretty cool. Like we've watched each other grow up, and we get a lot of those same like struggles, or like we'll joke around about the same issues that like
Mhm.
we got to deal with our parents, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Today we're gonna talk about hoarding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With our immigrant parents.
Costco.
Oh man,
Runs.
Costco. I think when my dad discovered Facebook Marketplace is when like
Oh,
that was
no.
like the can of worms for him.
Oh,
Like that was
man.
Pandora's box.
Well, I'm
Wow.
surprised he is good with Facebook or like apps in
He's
general.
not. Every time he like, yeah, I feel like my dad is one of those guys. Every time he forgets his password, he makes a new account. So we have like 30,
Oh.
Facebook accounts.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why my dad is like always under a different name trying to add you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do see him
Wow.
adding, and I'm like, is this a scam? So I don't add him. So
Yeah.
apologies
So
to
he
No, you're
doesn't-
good. You're
Tito,
good.
He doesn't do the forget password thing. It's just like, oh,
brand new
Yeah, because
account.
like if it gets sent to his
Okay.
email, but now he's forgotten his email password, so he just starts a
Oh.
new email.
my. Okay.
Yeah, it just kind of branches out from there.
Doesn't know email, but knows Facebook.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous place for him to source more
Yeah.
items. More items.
Does your dad sell stuff on the Facebook Marketplace to make money? He should.
He does not know how to do it that far.
Oh, okay.
He just
He
knows
just
how to
knows how to-
message people and ask them
And buy
if
stuff?
if he could get it for like $25 less.
I
So
love
he's
it.
haggling
He's haggling on
Yeah.
Facebook
online.
Marketplace. Oh man.
And then like, all right, so like we were supposed to buy a washer and dryer. We like drive all the way to like Southgate to like pick these up. He shows up and he's like, "Oh, I didn't bring enough cash." It's like, it's like the
Oh.
200 enough, and they're like, "Fine, whatever."
Oh,
And in his head, it's like, "Ka-chow, like I did it." You know?
wow.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to store that where?
And then now,
and whatchamacallit, deliver or travel with it.
yeah, like we still have to bring this back to Burbank,
Yeah.
put it in storage with the other washer and dryer back there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, back then, I would presume this was during the time you guys had the multiple
Yeah,
nursing homes. So
yeah.
maybe,
In his
yes.
mind, a lot of this was like for the business, right?
Mm,
So my dad owned a retirement home,
yeah.
couple,
Remember.
and for appliances, because they would break pretty often, we'd always have a backup, right?
Mm,
As he got older, and then one stuff got better quality,
Mhm.
and then he would take a back seat to running the place. He'd still go shopping, so in his head, he was still trying to like do the right thing
mm.
of like making sure we're like covered,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Until it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
I think that's the rough part. It's like you don't like us ourselves aren't going to realize like when this is going to be an issue until like it's too late.
Yep.
It's me trying to stuff my entire closet into like one drawer. It's probably going to be like when I figure that out.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I mean, it's cool that you recognized it early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will come by to get the Buddha, the
Oh,
air
absolutely.
fryer.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, if you're gonna give it to me for free, that's great. I was gonna say if your dad wanted to sell it to me, I mean, he can bargain with me though.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin, I heard you're going to be going on a trip soon to the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Next week. Next week I'm heading to the Philippines, mini family reunion. I'm going for like my cousin's wedding, go see my dad too. Yeah, it's kind of funny where the topic of hoarding comes up because I've got like my bare essentials, right? Like shorts, t-shirts, sunblock. And then the rest of it is like stuff that they've requested that I bring, with my limited suitcase, right? Portos is the big one. They
Wow.
want mass amounts of cheese rolls to be imported
Wow.
to Manila.
I don't know how you're going to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Portals is lovely, but
It's like a currency
Withstanding-
out there for like
withstanding like a 18 to 20 hour flight, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know how you're going to bring that in.
Huh.
Yeah. And then I know coming back, everyone else here has their requests for like stuff that you could easily
Mm.
get at like Seafood City, right? Like
Yeah.
you want like my mom wants like skin whitening soap.
Oh,
But I'm like
triggered.
like yeah. I figured instead of paying like the $6 at Seafood City, she wants it for like the $2
Yeah.
in mass quantities from Philippines. But I'm like,
But you got to travel with that.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's
And that's
like,
heavy.
you don't have to carry it. I do. So it's
Oh,
like,
well,
Right.
yeah.
Right. And talk about pricing too. It's like this happens with my mom. I don't know about your parents, but like good deals. Okay. This I think amplifies the hoarding. It's like my mom sees a good deal and she could buy multiple items of that. And I'm like, we're gonna keep that. For her, it's purses and shoes. And my God, the closet is just all her shoes and all her purses. And I don't even see her use all of them, but it was a good deal. Or it was like she goes to the outlets, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a good deal. I'm gonna go get this. I'm like,
Right.
you don't need that. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And it just piles up, and yeah, they're all just stuffed into the closets.
Yeah.
You know, I think she's getting a little bit better. She is donating, and she's asking me like, hey, there's stuff to donate. Which, by the way, when I send stuff over to her, because we do balikbayan boxes, which are boxes we ship back to the Philippines from the States. And when I give her some like old clothes of mine that don't fit anymore, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to use this anymore. I somehow she takes it out of the bag, and it doesn't go in the balikbayan box. It goes in my closet at my mom's house.
Like your just in case closet.
Yeah, I was like, the reason why I'm donating is I don't want this anymore. And one, it doesn't fit me. Like this was from like X amount of years ago. Like I can't fit that. I don't want it. Hoping to give it to someone in the Philippines, like a family member that can utilize it. But no, she keeps it for just in case and puts it back in my closet back at home. I don't know.
Well, we were chatting before we got here, and it Kevin, you had mentioned like your parents too, like it was like the just in case. So you got to buy 3 of something just in case it breaks or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I think just in case, what a dangerous phrase and
And like
concept.
I'm also susceptible to this. Like growing up with like it's kind of like what you mentioned earlier where it's like you have the scarcity at home, right? Like we were hoping that like the toaster you bought at the garage sale like survives, you know, right? For like a couple months. But then there's a brand new toaster, right? So we'll buy that one, put it away, keep using the old toaster until it breaks. It's going to last like 20 years anyway. But now we have like a toaster, 2 air fryers, like an Instant Pot. Like they're all in
its
the
packaging.
garage. Yeah, it's still in original packaging, you know.
Man.
So I'm like, how many people are we trying to feed, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like you said, I am susceptible to it a little bit too when it comes to like condiments. I'm not going to lie. My fridge has a lot of packets.
Yeah.
A lot of ranch options, you know, ketchup, just in case. Yeah.
My grandmother, when she was alive, everywhere we went, like a restaurant, and there's like condiment packets or like sugar packets, whatever, she would put that in her purse. And for what? Like then it's just like at home, and it's not like it's being really used, you know?
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, I need to take this because it's free. I'm like,
I think, man,
yeah.
so the free thing, that is,
Oh yeah.
I know that's an issue for me too.
Yeah.
Because like I love free stuff.
Oh, same. Free 99, baby.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
And it's like, but it became an issue. We're like, why do I have this many like Costco Parmesan packets like in my closet, right?
Yeah.
In my drawer, or like, where's all these chopsticks coming from?
Yep.
Right. I always pride myself on like, I'm good at recycling. Like I'm good at like reusing stuff, right? It's like Filipinos, we'll take like the old containers. Like we don't have actual Tupperware, right? It's like ice cream bucket or like country crock bucket. But what do I need like dozens of chopsticks for from like you know, anywhere? It's like, when do I stop?
So like my mom's pantry and fridge, it has all those things. Again, I think since we've moved in there, which was 2004, so 20 years now.
Nice.
Worth of like things are expired. So like anytime my sister's we're back at home, we open her fridge and I'm like, this is spoiled. Why is this still in here? It's like, oh, it's still just in case. Oh, it's still good. It still smells okay. I'm like, I don't think this is healthy for you.
Now that's one of my favorite games at my parents' house is like, what's the oldest condiment they have? Yeah. So far I found 2013 soy sauce.
Wow.
Dang.
Wait, are there dates on the condiments?
There's expiration dates on them. Or like Best Buy, I guess.
Yeah.
But still.
But it's also soy
still-
sauce, so it's not like
Right.
it's
And
gonna
it's
go bad.
packaged tightly enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a fun game,
30-year-old
though.
sauce
Fun
packet.
Christmas game
Yeah.
for our family. when we
check out the
the pantry
condiment.
and the fridge.
Yeah.
I
That'd be a good treasure hunt for
that would
the.
be fun. Yeah, for me now, I put them in a container. So like if it's full, I'm not getting
Sure.
any more.
Oh, that's
So
a good idea.
that's how I stop myself
Yeah.
from just excessively like, oh, I gotta get all this ketchup, and like my kid loves ranch, so I have ranch packets
Nice.
readily available, or like honey mustard. Because then those also cost now.
Yeah.
You have to buy extras for sauce for
That
your
is
chicken
true.
nuggets.
Also, I just realized, like you said, you refrigerate your condiments.
I do.
Yeah, I always trip out about that because my mom is like none of the condiments are right in the fridge, right? Like oyster sauce.
Are they in the drawer?
It's all in like the pantry,
Oh,
right? But they're supposed to be refrigerated, right?
I
I
think it
think
depends what type.
after
Or
after opening it, for sure needs to be.
But the stuff in our pantry is like, 2018, 2019.
oh yeah, no.
So it's like, she's like, it's still good. It's fine. It's like, we can't
Yeah.
waste it. We can't throw it away, right?
Yeah, that is actually another theme. Can't waste it, even if it's not good. Can't waste it.
Can't
You
waste
know,
it.
don't be wasteful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even like chopsticks, utensils, forks and spoons. Like any family gathering, there's like a mixed match of
Yeah.
with forks and spoons and knives that they've collected.
Yeah.
So-
Did you ever have to recycle your plastic forks, your plastic cutlery at like a party?
No.
What do you mean, like
To
wash it?
There
rewash
would
them
be
and
there would be
reuse?
like a container on the side, like put your utensils back in there
Oh,
so that we'd
Oh.
clean them for like the next
I mean,
time.
that's not like a bad idea.
It's
Because
not.
it's like,
The whole reuse
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
for the environment. That sounds like a great
Like
idea.
now it's nice. In like high school, I'm like, this is embarrassing. Can we
Yeah.
not keep our
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we didn't do this, but I've heard also reusing Ziploc bags, washing them.
I still do that.
Okay.
I've never done that. Oh,
Rewash. Okay,
Yeah,
if
you,
it was
you turn
if it
it
was
inside out,
if it was
you
gently
wash it out.
used,
if it was gently used, I can see that.
I think I've done it, but it's not
Yeah.
every time. Normally, bad for the environment because like I just
Yeah.
throw it
Mhm.
away.
Yeah.
But now there's options. You have those stasher bags that
True.
are reusable. But
Uh,
I'm just like you. I reuse like any shopping bags I
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
I use that as trash
Same.
bags.
Yeah.
You know.
Tinfoil, I felt like because it's like the expensive like wrapping,
Mm,
like that one ends up getting washed and saved, like
mm,
at my mom's.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, again, I think that's like the Ziploc. If it was like gently used, and it is washable, like it'll just,
Yeah.
so. Well, now I'm getting ideas on how to reuse things. Now I'm like, man, I've been so wasteful.
Like if I'm gonna hoard, I want you guys to also,
Look.
start saving stuff.
Hey, no shame on that. I definitely partake in some of the hoarding experiences that was passed down. So, but again, seeing it from their lens, it's like, okay, coming from the Philippines, they had less resources, right? So they got to be a little bit more creative on how they reuse things. So, I get it. And that's also good for the environment. So there's a little bit of that plus.
Yeah.
But like you said, it is embarrassing if like you have friends by and I'm like, oh, there's so many expired things in your fridge and you can't make room for new stuff,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this idea of like that was like the defense mechanism they needed to survive, right? Like couponing is always like
Mm.
something
Yeah.
I've been pretty good at, and like, or watching my dad haggle to be able to like get stuff.
Mhm.
Trying to buy my first car on my own, I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, I need like an old angry Asian man to like to do the negotiating for me.
Yeah.
That
You
is that is a good
It's like,
that's a good superpower.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And like, there is like good stuff that can come out of all this, but then I see like the real issue of like, yo, we've been to Costco 3 times this week and
Wow.
we've bought things because they're on sale, not because we need them, but because it's like
Mhm.
there's that idea of like, oh, this is
A good savings.
yeah, like
Mhm.
I'm winning over like Costco, right? Or like I'm getting one over like Ross, even though it's been marked down.
Mhm.
I'm like, we don't need this,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know?
Is it almost like he likes the challenge of like, oh, I can get this price
Oh
down,
yeah.
or like, you know what I mean? Because I think my mom, she likes to bargain too, and for her, it's like a fun game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can get somebody to like lower the price. It's like, okay, you can clearly afford like
Yeah.
this, so why are we doing
Yeah.
this?
Like
Yeah,
why are
why are we
you
doing this game?
haggling at T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we don't need it's a set cell phone plan. We don't
Yeah.
need
But I wish I knew your dad when I bought my car.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when we travel as a family, my mom, like just last year we went to Mexico, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And she was like trying to
She wanted
lower
like
that price.
the hat, right?
Yeah.
The sun visor
She's
or
like,
whatever.
oh, 2 for, $10 or something like that. And I'm like,
I'm like, dude, these people
"Ma."
need to make money.
But that's like their Super Bowl. That's like them, it's like last quarter.
Yeah,
It's like you're about to board the ship in like
right.
30 minutes. It's like, no, I'm gonna get one more deal
Yeah.
Right.
out of
Or
this.
she's like, no, I'm gonna let's walk to the other vendor. Like, let's go over here.
And
like,
she was doing it like in front of this
in
vendor.
front of the
Like
vendor. Yeah.
she's
it's
like,
oh,
oh,
they have
I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Like making this one feel bad.
I was like, oh gosh.
And this guy like clearly did not care. He's like, whatever. Like, go over there. Like, 'cause she was being so annoying.
It was not it's not great.
Yeah.
Those times I'm like, I'm walking away. I don't know you, woman.
Right? This is not my mother. Who is this
I don't
woman?
know.
Yeah.
I was like, here, just take my money. I'll get it.
Oh.
It's like a trauma fee for the vendor. Just like
Right.
if you gotta deal with her, I gotta deal with her.
Right.
Yeah.
It's it's like you see the issue, but you can also kind of figure out like what you can gain from this. I also have the problem of like never throwing things away.
Mm.
Every once in a while, it turns out like I was right? Like, oh, it was a good thing I kept this, right? Whatever clothes I wore in like the early 2000s is now trendy again, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, I should probably keep that bucket hat from 2004.
Yeah. No, fashion's coming back for sure. Fun fact though. Yeah, I think that is like a nice, sure, silver lining of keeping old things for so long. This blazer is my mom's
Ooh,
from
I was
late
just gonna say, I
80s,
really like that
okay.
color.
late
Yeah.
80s, early 90s, I guess.
Yeah, it looks great.
Got those power shoulder pads.
Power shoulder. Like you don't get them this thick,
Yeah.
anymore. So I'm like, okay, thanks, Mom, for keeping this for
Right.
so many years.
Yeah.
It fits me now, so I'm taking it.
Yeah.
But
oh, that's cool.
That's like maybe one of the plus. You get vintage clothes at your parents'
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could fit in my mom's clothes because she's only 4'11" and she's like so much smaller than me. But she had cool clothes, and I think she still has them. I'm like,
She's
Mom,
very
you should just wear 'em." Yeah,
fashionable.
I was like, Mom, you can wear these again. Yeah.
For the longest time, my dad had like more drip than I do, because he would only shop at like Marshalls and like Ross. So it's ever like last year's like clothes that were like in style. He has all these great like trendy T-shirts, or like he was wearing like the loose like kind of loungy pants. When like, why are you dressed like a teenager? It's like,
Does he have Crocs yet?
he does.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he was
Crocs and a
wearing
bucket
like
hat.
loafers when they were like kind of coming up.
We need a photo.
It's like
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's also got the embarrassing like dad T-shirts that you get from like tourism, right? It's like
Right, there's like text saying like, I don't know, I can't
it's like
think
I love LA, right?
Yeah,
Or it's
something.
like-
Yeah. I love New York. or-
yeah. But I'm like,
Yeah.
look at this man who like just does not give a fuck,
Yeah.
right? Like wear whatever you want, be comfortable. And it's something that like I feel like older generations can do, where it's just like we're just here for business, right? It's like go to work, go shopping, dress how you want. And then me being like absolutely self-conscious of like, I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I wearing this? Or why are we buying this? Like, we don't need this, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. I did want to ask you, like, how you've kind of, because you said you have a very like minimalist lifestyle.
Mhm.
Um, how do you kind of navigate that? Like, is that a direct effect from like your mom kind of keeping everything, and so you want to just kind of live simple, or
Yeah, so I think it has a lot to do with, like, at a young age, my parents were not very financially, like, savvy, I guess you could say, but I was always a good saver because I saw that my parents were not, and so that was one part of it, but I guess I started becoming a minimalist maybe, like, 10 years ago. And it was more for, like, a mental thing, like, somebody had told me, like, "Hey, if you have, like, too much clutter, like, that's gonna clutter your mind." So,
Mhm.
it was kind of like the mental and spiritual part of it. To your point, people are buying stuff because it's on sale or it's a good deal, but they don't need it. And that's where people just start to spend money. So, for me, I'm like, "Man, I've saved very well since I was, like, 18, and I can continue to do that." So I just buy the basic stuff. Um, and so I actually don't in my house, I have 2 wardrobe, cabinets, so I don't even have a closet, but I can actually probably narrow it just down to 1 now. So
oh wow,
most of my clothes, I wear kind of the same stuff, like, over and over, and no one's said anything to me like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
you wore that last week," you know? Um, and then just, like, now that I live by myself, it's just buying food for myself, and then I don't have any type of decorations at my place, it's really, like, just furniture, like couch, TV. Um, I, like, cleaned out all my glassware because 'cause I'm like, "No one's really gonna be using this, even if I invite people over, like, I have enough." So I think that's helped me in terms of saving money, but also just less stuff means for me personally, mentally, I just feel better about my life. So but yeah, it came from also like just my parents hoarding stuff.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was just telling Tiff, I went back to Minnesota. My mom had a storage unit there that she was paying for like almost 20 years. And it was like 100 something each month. So I'm like, okay, one, you could be like saving that money and all this stuff in here, no one's touched it in 20 years. So we need to figure this out. And so we donated a lot of it. And then some of our family members took it. And I'm like, yeah, there's people that could use this. But again, it like for me just seeing that and having experienced that, I'm like, okay, now I'm feeling so good about like living a minimalist lifestyle and just having the bare essentials, you know? So, yeah, that's where it came from because my parents, much like your guys's, is just buying,
Yeah,
buying.
yeah.
Oh, this is a great deal. And it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's a great deal, but you don't need it, you know?
Mhm.
So, anyway, just I highly recommend it. It's not for everyone, it's hard, but it's actually very fulfilling. So,
Nice. Do you remember the when like Maria Kondo came out? It was like, "Does this
Mhm.
bring you
yes.
joy?" And
Yes.
I
This
tried to do
sparks
that with the
joy.
Yeah.
boxes, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Does this bring you joy?" I'm like, "Not really, because I haven't touched it in like 5 years. But just in case,
Yeah.
it
But
might bring
just
me
in
joy
case.
later."
That's
You
the
know?
line.
Well,
Just
just
in
in
case.
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
No, I did learn her folding technique, so that's what I
Yeah, yeah.
love. Like I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, I could fit so much more in
yeah.
this drawer now."
Yeah. Yep.
Now I can
I
put more clothes
Yeah,
in
I
that
Yeah.
drawer.
know.
You know?
Yeah.
Get more deals and I could fill this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you need house decorations, by the way, my dad, you should. I've
I'm sure
been
your dad
I've been telling
has.
family to like come shopping at us first before you go elsewhere. You know?
'Cause you probably have it.
We
Yeah.
have these like 2 giant bags, like the 50-pound like rice bags, and we've been trying to offload it to like cousins or like,
Mhm.
so we're like, "Oh no, we don't have room for that either." But we can get like a cup
Yeah.
every time we visit. I'm like, "Great."
Hey,
So
there
now
you
we're like
go.
the sorry store,
Mhm.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But yeah, if you need decorations, we have my dad has like some 48 Buddha statues
Oh.
of
You
just
say
random
48?
It's probably more than that. Just
my-
of the ones I found, I've
4,
got
8
like
or 4, 2, 8.
like 48, like
Oh.
4 and then 8. Yeah.
Well, I think your mom has a few from your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's in our it's in the living room.
Actually, I mean, I have like a little Buddha like outside my porch, like a small one.
okay.
I mean, I could have a bigger one,
I've
but
got,
do I
like-
really need it? I don't know.
I've got like a wooden Buddha. I've got porcelain. I've got probably other materials, plastic. There's like skinny Buddha.
I was gonna say
I've got
which
fat
different
Buddha.
styles.
I've
Which
got the
Buddha form are we talking
Oh,
about?
Buddha
yeah.
with like the big ears, with the small ears. He's either laughing or praying.
It's a whole variety.
I got
Yeah.
all of them.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Korean
shopping
Buddha?
at your dad's place.
Chinese, probably the Nepal one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. If we need anything,
Buddha.
shop at
If you
Kevin's
need
dad's
if you need
place.
Call Kevin.
a rice, was it an air fryer?
You know, I was considering buying one because I've been seeing all these recipes like air fry this, air
Oh,
fry
it's a
game
that.
changer.
So possibly,
Okay.
but yeah, there's some things that go in the air fryer. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like somebody was like, you can cook salmon in the air fryer. I'm like,
You can.
have you done that?
You
before?
can, and it doesn't smell the whole house.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I'll
there's a lot
consider
of
it.
things. Yeah. I don't know. It's been helpful for me as a mom now, so it's just like quicker meals.
Actually, I think I was at your place. You guys air fried chicken wings or something.
Yeah.
and that was good.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's crispy.
those were
Yep.
nice.
It's a nice.
All right,
nice
Kevin,
crisp.
Buddha and air fryer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got other stuff too. My dad bought. Do you remember like the toilet paper scare in like
Oh, yeah.
2020?
Oh man.
Yeah, I think he just
Cleared it.
finished his batch.
So
So
at
he was the
that
problem? No,
Yeah,
just
He
was
kidding.
he the
was,
reason
yeah.
why it ran out? Like, did he literally go to the store like once like the pandemic was announced and like bought like
Went to Costco.
Yeah, so like because he couldn't do anything else, right? All of his restaurants are closed. I think Costco was his like sanctuary, right? He could like disappear for like 20-30 minutes, right? Just kind of like walk around somewhere, like do his
Free
like
samples.
his there were no samples back then,
Oh,
was
that's
very
right.
rough
There's
time, yeah.
it's the
Aw.
pandemic.
but it's like his retail therapy.
Mm.
Except
Mm.
instead of like clothing and like nicing, it's like I don't know, 2 gallons of mayonnaise and some Costco pants.
Mm.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm curious, like with your son, like obviously, like kids, they want like toys and things. Like, are you trying to raise him like, hey, like here's just your toys, you don't need to buy anymore? Like, just coming from, just talking about like your parents and like hoarding. Like, do you have like a different parenting style when it comes to like buying stuff or having stuff for him?
So for me, it's mainly like, so food is kind of where my treats come in, not toys.
Okay.
So maybe that might be a problem down the line with nutrition. But for toys, yeah, I don't buy extra. There's gifts that come from other people that tend to be like, okay, fine,
Sure.
that's a nice treat, cool. And this is where I like start swapping out toys. Like there's a lot of his baby stuff now I'm gonna donate or pass down to my sister or other cousins that have younger kids.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we're all trading now at this point.
Yeah.
We're all trading our
Makes
kids'
sense.
stuff, hand-me-downs and all that. So that's nice. But for toys, I try not to, I don't want to say spoil, but like indulge in that.
Yeah.
For me, it's like food. Like, oh yeah, you want so there's like these Kinder eggs.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they come with little toys, but like I could throw that away. They're too tiny. I was like, you don't even play with this. He
Yeah.
wants just the treat, the
Yeah.
the hazelnut cream. So like that's his like treat, if you will. He gets excited about that versus actual toys.
I see.
He does play with what we have, but he's not asking for. Oh, like if there's an advertisement on YouTube, he doesn't say I want that toy. I'm like, good, cool. We don't
Yeah.
we don't need more things. But yeah, I'm at this point now, just cycling through stuff he doesn't play with, which is a little annoying because like when I do, because they're in clear bins, like he sees something from,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I want to play with that. I'm like, no, I'm trying to donate that. So I need to do it faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, our garage is filled with a lot of things.
It's all vintage now, so it might be worth
It's
something.
totally vintage. I don't know if I have the energy to like
Yeah.
list and price things,
Sure.
you know. But
Yeah.
I did bring it up to my mom. It's like we should probably do a garage sale or yard sale or something one of these days. Because you can't even walk into the garage. There's like a very small little path.
Yeah.
And there's just so many decorations. Like my dad loved decorating the house during the holidays and just any of the holidays really.
Yeah.
And my mom doesn't have the energy now to just like put something up every time.
Yeah.
So we're not there yet. It is top of mind because like at the end of the day, we're gonna like my sister and I are gonna have to clear out the stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
I think if it's sentimental to you. So one thing I forgot to mention. So for our storage, the majority of the stuff was my parents, but Mark, my brother, had like a ton of stuff in there, and he was not there to help like clean. So I was like texting him every 5 minutes or calling him, "Hey, do you want this? And he wanted to keep everything. I'm like, okay, this is now.
Oh no.
This is
It's
why.
like just put it in your car, bring it back.
But we found his old Atari
What?
game system in
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is worth keeping. It's kind of cool,
Yeah.
you know. But all these magazines, all
Oh.
these whatever trinkets, I'm like, are you really you want me to ship that back here to California, and you guys are gonna have that in your house? Like, I'm pretty sure like Becca doesn't want that. But in his mind, it was like everything is sentimental, and I get that,
Yeah.
right? There's certain things that I feel like you should keep, but he wanted to keep like magazines, like GQ magazines from like 1990. I'm like, what? What are you?
I'm sure you can make a museum.
Maybe,
out of that.
Yeah.
but I did found some old comic books that were in plastic
Ooh, yeah.
sleeves.
So I did keep those because I'm like, comics usually are collectible
Yeah.
stuff. Could be worth it. But I'm like, okay, Mark, you're turning into our parents. Like, this is the reason why we are in this position now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Mark, I would have to say he loves stuff. He's very different from me. He's like, I need 10 guitars. I need 10 of this.
Yeah.
And then now that he has kids, it's like there's no room in that house if he's going to keep doing that. So that's something he's still struggling with.
I do like that there's still this idea of like we're trying to help, right? So it's like you collect stuff, eventually try to send it, to the Philippines.
Yeah.
My dad, he has a condo in Manila, and for a bit of time he was like, "Oh, we're gonna pack these boxes so we could have stuff over there." Like, cool, yeah, it's like another just in case thing, right?
Sure, yeah.
First time I visit, all of his balikbayan boxes never got opened. But for his studio, he made a partition to split it into like 2 rooms.
Okay.
Using all his boxes.
Hey.
That were like not unpacked. I'm like, what do you need? You have like 300 t-shirts here. It's like, why? Like, you'll never have to do laundry again.
All these good deals you got at Costco for t-shirts.
Yeah.
You could just open up your own shop at Green Hills Mall.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Wow.
And I'm like, you're one person. Like, what do we need all this stuff for? And it's kind of the same issue where like when I lived in my apartment by myself, I have all this stuff that like I realize like I don't actually use or need, but it's like because it's just in case, or like I can't afford to like throw it away, it's accumulated.
Right. It's like, oh, I paid good money, or I got a good deal on that,
Yeah.
and I'm going to
Right,
use it
yeah.
one day.
Yeah. And then 5 years later.
Yeah, I
it's still
know. And
there.
you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The reason I moved into like my house is only like 700 square feet,
Sure.
but the reason why I like moved into like a small place is so that I don't like accumulate stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is gonna keep me from like, because I do have like a small storage like behind my bathroom. And I'm like, that's full of like it's like my luggage and like
Sure.
toilet paper and stuff like I keep in there. And I'm like, if that's full, I don't need to buy anymore. So it kind of keeps me in check. But
Nice.
I can see myself like if I have a big house, I'm like, oh, I could have this in there and that.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps me in check. But yeah, anything like trinkets or like if I travel and I see something really cool that's gonna like give me a memory of that place, I'll buy that, you know.
Sure.
But other than that, I try not to because I'm like, oh, I could just see like a whole case full of like collectible
Yeah.
things, which is
Yeah.
cool for some people. But I gotta get my own barrel, man, for sure in the
Okay.
Philippines. That I will buy.
Kevin's going. You
Give me
should.
give me the
I
list.
know,
Everyone else
There
did.
you
man. I just
go.
want a barrel, man. Does it only come in that size, or is it like
Oh,
a
there's
bigger
There's
bigger
one?
bigger
ones.
ones. There's also
Bigger,
a female
the
one.
better.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
was
just
gonna
kidding.
say if you see a female one, can I
Oh,
can you
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
and
Oh, the
match the set?
female one is
Yeah.
Can I do that on the show?
Oh yeah. Totally.
Oh, yeah. Well, he needs a friend, so maybe a
Yeah.
female one.
Yeah.
Get it a lady friend.
Lady friend. Lady friend.
But that just
Yeah.
reminded me of the trinkets and traveling. So my parents' fridge,
Oh, the magnets.
Is it magnets, right?
all
Yeah.
magnets
Yeah.
from everywhere they visited. So many things. Again, sure, sentimental, like, oh, it's remembering that trip and stuff like that. But it's just it's just so many,
Yeah.
so much, and it's already full. The fridge
Yeah.
is full of all these random magnets,
Mhm.
and it's a lot to see and look at.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I have shot glasses,
I
but like
went through that phase too, and I think
I barely drink. So it's like,
yeah,
what do
I
I
think I
need?
donated
I also
it.
don't like
Yeah.
that many people in there. Like I have 4 friends, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Well,
I think food is a good thing to bring back. Just
yeah.
PSA out there. Food is good to bring back when traveling because, yeah, you can
Mhm.
dispose of that
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah, it's like unique to like that
unique.
country,
Yeah,
perhaps.
you get
Yeah.
a
Maybe.
flavor of where your friend visited.
But yeah, I definitely still have tendencies of like, now that I have disposable income, it's like, oh, I want to collect this.
Mhm.
You know, at least it's not something like that takes up space, like Funko, like those Funko Pops, or like,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so in my head, it's justified. Like my hoarding is not as bad as like other people's.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Well,
Thank
let's raise
you.
our Sanzos. Cheers.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Kevin.
Kevin, for
joining
being on
us.
our show. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Much appreciated.
Cheersies.
Awesome. All right.
Catch us next time.
Yeah. Thank you.